462% job efficiency on a single planet from one Councilor. That is not a mod, that is not a bug, that's actually what happens when you push the Councilor skill levels to their absolute maximum in Stellaris 4.3. And it doesn't stop there. Minus 58% global ship upkeep from one council position, plus 58% research speed from another, plus 145% shields, fire rate and accuracy in friendly systems from a single civic. In this video I'm going to show you every source of effective Councilor skill level in the game, the maximum you can reach for any build, and exactly how those numbers translate into one of the most overpowered interactions in Stellaris. Quick report from High Command before we dive deeper. Most of you watching aren't officially enlisted yet. If this run gives you ideas for your own games, subscribe and join our navy. Before we stack the numbers, let's understand why the council matters so much. Councilors are the most important leaders in your empire. They get destiny traits that fundamentally change how your empire operates, they launch agendas that snowball your economy and tech even harder, and they provide scaling bonuses from their council positions that grow with every skill level. The key word is scaling. Most councilor bonuses are calculated per skill level. A level 10 councilor is very strong. A level 20 Councilor is game-changing, and a level 29 Councilor can break the game, and the gap between 10 and 29 is entirely within your control if you know which sources to stack. Everything going forward applies to all Councilors, not just your ruler. We want flexibility across the entire council, not a single overpowered ruler on an otherwise mediocre council board. I'm dividing sources into two categories. Flexible sources are available to every empire in the game, regardless of the build. Exclusive sources are locked behind specific authorities, ascensions, or civics. This way you can theory craft your own combinations. So let's start with everyone can access. The single biggest modifier in the game, the prototype VER core. This relic gives plus 4 effective Councilor skill level when activated. You can buy it from the curators after completing your Galactic History collection in the Grand Archive. There is some RNG involved though. You have a 40% chance of rolling this relic specifically, but if you don't get it, there is also a 40% chance that you are offered the Exactus Compendium 2, which gives plus 1 effective Councilor skill level as a passive effect, so no activation required. The Mutagenic Spa civics require you to build the Mutagenic Spa building on a planet and assign a governor there. The governor gains the Substance Abuser trait, which increases their effective skill level by plus 3 with this civic. The crucial detail is that your leader can be a governor and a councilor simultaneously, so this plus 3 applies to both the planet bonus and the council position. This is the single best civic for councilor stacking. At plus 3 from one civic, it outperforms everything else on the list except the relic. Other flexible sources are the Memory Vault civic, giving plus 1 effective councilor skill level, the Shadow Council civic giving another plus 1, the Statecraft tradition with the Shared Benefits perk gives another plus 1, and the Departmental Efficiency agenda from the same tree gives plus 2 when launched. The Aptitude tradition, Champions of the Empire perk gives plus 1 effective leader skill level. This one affects all leaders, not just councilors. The Psionic Species portrait gives plus 2. This is listed as flexible because it is a portrait selection available to all biological empire that has a psionic portrait option. You don't need to follow the psionic ascension path though. So adding everything up, plus 4 from the relic, plus 3 from the mutagenic spas, plus 1 from memory vault and shadow council, plus 3 from statecraft, plus 1 from aptitude, plus 2 from psionic portrait, that plus 15 from all sources that any empire can access. With a maximum level 10 leader, that's 25 effective councilor skill level before we touch any build specific sources, already extremely powerful, but we can go higher. The Oligarchy Authority and some of its variations give plus 2 effective councilor skill level. This is one of the strongest reasons to run Oligarchic on top of getting more councilor EXP gain. The plus 2 applies to your entire council. The Imperium Vitalis, the Psionic Authority, gives plus 1. Talking about the Ascension bonuses, the Virtual Ascension unlocks the leader focus policy, giving +2. The cyborg ascension unlocks the learning algorithms trait that gives +1 effective leader skill level. One important caveat though, this trait is also available to machine empires, but the skill level bonus only works for cyborgs. The psionic ascension unlocks the entropy drinker civic, which enables an edict granting +2. For just out consciousness, the node reformatting technology gives +1. So the absolute maximum effective Councilor skill level is 29, combining a base level 10 with +19 from stacked sources. A practical note though, in most games you won't run every civic listed here just for the skill levels. Memory Vault and Shadow Council at +1 each are underwhelming if their other effects don't fit your build. Mutagenic Spas at +3 is normally worth the civic slot. The rest, pick them if they already serve your economy or strategy and treat the skill level as a bonus. Now the part that everyone has been waiting for, what do these numbers actually translate into? At level 29, the Minister of Defense provides -58% global ship upkeep. Your entire navy costs less than half as much to maintain. In a patch where naval capacity is the bottleneck, cutting upkeep in half means you can field dramatically larger fleets on the same economy. At level 29, the Minister of Science provides 58% research speed from one council position. That's more research speed than most empires get from the entire traditions and technologies combined. The Sovereign Guardianship Civic and a level 29 Councilor, you get +145% shields, fire rate and accuracy in friendly systems. Your home territory becomes a death trap for invaders. And now to the most broken interaction in this mechanic. If you're running Divine Sovereign with the Imperium Vitalis Authority, your maximum effective Councilor level is 28. Divine Sovereign gives you job efficiency scaling per 100 telepaths, calculated from your Councilor skill level. At level 28, that's 33% job efficiency per 100 telepaths. Now build 4 Sanctums on a single planet. Each Sanctum gives +300 telepath jobs. With 4 Sanctums and the Psionic building, you can stack roughly 1400 telepaths on one world. 1400 telepaths at 33% per 100, it equals to 462% job efficiency on that planet. That is not a typo. Every specialist on that planet, researchers, metallurgists, artisans, produce more than 5.5 times their normal output. On one research eco-monopolist with this combo produces more than most empires. And even on regular planets without Sanctums, where you might have only 200 telepaths, that is still 66% job efficiency from one Councilor position alone. Now some other notable interactions. The Fanatic Purifier Civic, you're getting +58% monthly alloys at level 29. This is multiplicative with all other alloy production sources. The Catalytic Processing gives +58% metallurgist output, is slightly less powerful than the purifiers, but it is more flexible since you're not a genocidal. Just out consciousness empires reach a maximum of 28, but they gain access to the growth node, +3% pop assembly speed per level, totaling 84% empire-wide. With Technocracy, you get +1.45 of each research field per respective researcher job. Just beware that the upkeep will also dramatically increase. There are plenty more interactions, but I will leave the rest for you to discover and theorycraft your own overpowered builds. Now let me show you this in practice. I went for the Divine Sovereign combo to maximize Councilor levels and push for the telepaths interaction. Unfortunately, the prototype VER core didn't roll for us this time, but even without it, the results are absurd. So let's see what happened. Now, this is the event that I wanted to have, and since we shifted from Imperial to Transcendent Democracy, now we have it. A powerful psychic, but a god? Hardly. Of course not. She is a god, a goddess in that case. Now we have the Divine Sovereign, probably, let's see. And we have pretty much everything that we want. Divine Sovereign, Masterful Crafters, Experimental Sentencing. Now we are gonna grab Minister of Defense, obviously Head of Research, Divine Conduit, Experimental Overseer, and finally, let's go for Master Crafter for more armor. I think so, right? Yeah, let's go with that. We wanna have the maximum amount of level for the Divine Conduit, so let's look for any leaders that have the highest level of our empire. So we have Nomeden Mede as our Divine Conduit. Now the great part, Commander, is that we stacked up so much effective Councilor skill levels that we're gonna get massive amount of job efficiency. You're gonna see that. But yeah, as you can see, we have so much effective Councilor skill levels that on our capital we are getting 152% job efficiency. It is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, every 100 telepaths is giving us 19% job efficiency for psionic pops, and that is even increased if you have more Councilor effective skill level, which we're gonna get. Departmental efficiency is gonna give us another +2, and if you get the relic from the creators, you're gonna get +4 already, which is amazing. And now in order for us to have the prototype relic, we need to finish up our galactic history in the Grand Archive here. And to that happen, we need 2 more specimens. How are we gonna get specimens? One way of doing that would be to trade with other empires. However, everybody in the galaxy hates us. Literally everybody. So we can't really trade with anyone. We gotta take it the conventional way, which is to declare war, get to their capital, and destroy the Grand Archive, getting everything for us. As you can see, there they are, the Grand Archive, and we know that they have a specimen because once we offer a trade deal with them, we can see that they have the Rudari Death Laser prototype from the galactic history. Now there are other fellas very nearby, which also share the same flag colors or the border colors. They also have it. The Missile of the Lone Defender, another one from the galactic history. So we're gonna declare war on both of them with the sole purpose of getting those specimens, but we might as well just vassalize them as well, right? Just get some tributaries to pay us some resources. It's gonna be good. Now that we finish up all of the remaining wars, let's go and declare war on the United Alvanian Mandate so we can get their special specimens. And with the specimens, let's hope that we get the one that we want, the prototype VER. We can straight up just jump at their capital, by the way, which is just gonna speed the process a lot faster. But we also want to vassalize them so they can pay us resources. We're gonna literally get everything from them, right? Grand Archive instantly dismantled when we arrived at their system. Now we just gotta wait until the jump drive cooldown, and then we jump to the other enemy's capital, because going all the way around is gonna take much more time. But wait a second, what is the other specimen? Did they sold to somebody else or something like that? Man, or can't we get that specimen from, you know, just destroying their Grand Archive? That is not very good. So now let's see if this Grand Archive is gonna give us the specimens that we want, or if it is just a bait. Okay, now we got one, the Missile of the Lone Defender, is fantastic, and also this one that gives us plus 10% trade from jobs. Not bad at all. Now all that we need is find one more specimen somewhere in the galaxy. Now we are also at war with another empire, the Union of Azohov Planets. However, we looked at it before and they don't have any specimens remaining. So we gotta find somewhere else, somebody else. Oh, great. So these little birds right here, they have the Sulebaster control column. All we gotta do is just get their Grand Archive, and thankfully it is very close to our empires, so we can just grab our recently created fleet and just send them there. That's actually bad. So the entire galaxy mobilized to go to war against the Phoenix Imperium, which they have the aura of the end, because they are Endbringers. Because of that, the coalition of Oscox Prime, which had the Grand Archive with the specimen that we wanted, well, they are now our allies in this war, and thus we cannot, you know, destroy their Grand Archive. So we're gonna need to first kill off the Phoenix Imperium. Oh boy. Alright, another Grand Archive destroyed on Linzer. Please. Oh, we got the Rudari Death Laser. So yes, this AI, they traded their artifact with the Phoenix Imperium, and now we got it back. So I would just need the energy that we are struggling because, well, we have a lot of automated work for it. So let's just buy it. It's 3,000. That's very expensive. So go here, Grand Archive, Activate it. Now let's pray that the curators have the right relic for us, commanders. It is RNG, so yeah. Can you assist? Galactic history. Purchase a relic, please. Prototype VER core. No. Well, we didn't get what we wanted. However, we have this one that gives us +1 effective Councilor skill level. I would take it. It's not the most optimal one, but it's also not bad. Go here. Buy it. We also launched our departmental efficiency agenda. So with this we have 11 skill level from 10 +1 from Champions of the Empire. Then we have 2 from species, 2 from departmental efficiency agenda. Then we have 1 from relics and 1 from shared benefits for 17 Councilor skill level. We can increase it even further by just reforming our government, removing something like masterful crafters or entropy drinkers. That would give us another +2 effective skill level here. And we could also go for the mutagenic spas, which will give us +3 effective leader skill level while governing a colony with mutagenic spas. That would get us to skill level of 20 for our divine sovereign, which would then give us +20% job efficiency for psionic puffs from telepaths. But currently we are already gaining 17% on top of the base of 10%, so that is 27% job efficiency for psionic puffs for every 100 telepaths. That is ridiculous, commanders. So we subjugated more empires. Now the United Alvanian Mandate and the Rogerian Concord, which was their bulwark. And we have pretty much all of the galaxy, because the Phoenix Imperium, we are annihilating them in a total war, the Imperium Aura War. That's kind of a cool name. Yeah, the galaxy is ours, commanders. Literally ours. So yeah, commanders, so that you can see the powerful effects of the Divine Conduit plus maximizing our leader effective skill levels, which by the way are not at the most optimizable way, because we could have had a much better relic, and we could also change some of our civics to better accommodate more skill levels, but that is not our main goal. Anyways, with this we achieved over 240% job efficiency for psionic pops. It is really ridiculous. This improved our orderlies, which has a 200,000 job workforce, and with that we achieved 32,000 tech per month at the current patch, which would equal to 64,000 in the previous patch, but much more than that, because the economy itself is very much nerfed into the ground. Every 100 experiment engineers is producing this amount of tech, pretty much a science nexus on their own. But yeah, commanders, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave that like button, because it helps me out a lot. And as always, commanders, I will see you guys next time.